Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed that little 2-minute video of the Fantasy Football World Championship put on by DraftKings. Those were just some personal videos I took throughout the weekend. It was an amazing weekend, lots of fun, met some great, cool people. DraftKings treated us like gold. It was just an awesome, all-around fun time. And I ended up finishing 28th, so my goal was top 30. And just squeaked inside there, hitting 28th place, which was good for $50,000, so that's awesome. Obviously, my hopes were top 10 like everyone else. But I can't complain with $50,000. That's a big chunk of money, and I'm really happy with that. As you can see here, this is my lineup. A lot of you guys asked how I came up with it, especially the Cousins pick. And I was the only one who took Cousins, and he was the second highest scoring quarterback of the week. So a lot of people were asking how I came up with that. Basically, my lineup started with, after doing a little bit of research, looking at the salaries, matchups, and kind of just personal gut feel, my lineup started with Julio Jones, Gronk, and Baldwin. There was no way I was going to leave Jones and Gronk out, and then Baldwin I really wanted in there as well. So I ended up setting those three in the lineup and building from there. And after putting those three in, I knew I had to go a bit cheaper at quarterback. And I found Desean Jackson in Fantasy Labs ranked pretty high, and I took a look into him. And after seeing him drop down to 4,500 for a number one receiver that has a lot of upside, I really liked him. So I kind of took a look at Cousins as well. And I really love the pair given their price. I thought Buffalo's defense was a little overrated. They're not too great at stopping the run, and that opens up things in the passing game a little bit. And Cousins does have a lot of high upside. He's had some bad games this year, but he's had some really big games, especially at home. So he was playing at home against what I thought was an overrated defense. They're fighting for the playoffs. And he's got his weapon back with Desean Jackson. And then he's got good receivers as well. He's got Reed, Garcon, and Crowder. All four of those guys are pretty good receivers. So he's got good weapons. And it ended up working out. He had 4 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. And then, so after I locked in that quarterback wide receiver stack, I kind of built around that. I knew I wanted Denard Robinson at 4,600. He was great value. You can see he's 46% owned. I wasn't the only one who thought of him as good value. He put up 15.4 points, which was decent for the price. Was hoping for a little more, but that's okay. And then from there, I also put in Allen, Cobb, and Steelers defense. So the defense was the last thing I did. I kind of messed around with a bunch of different running backs and receivers. Got to Javarius Allen and Randall Cobb, and unfortunately, Javarius Allen fumbled on, it was the first or second drive, and he was benched for the rest of the game, so he only put 0.8 points. That could have stung quite a bit more than it did. It wasn't as bad because Adrian Peterson got injured and McCoy got injured, didn't do a lot. A couple other big injuries on the day. Amendola for receiver was a guy I really liked and didn't put in. Alshon Jeffrey was a guy I really liked, didn't put in. A lot of people had those guys. So the Allen 0.8 points was a big disappointment, but it could have hurt a lot more if there wasn't other injuries. And then Cobb was a really big disappointment for me at just 10.8 points. I was hoping for 20 or more from all of my receivers. 10.8 was pretty bad from him given that Green Bay scored 30 points. He did have 2 shots where he could have got a touchdown, and they got pass interference called against the Raiders. So they were throwing the ball to him in the end zone. He actually had, I think, another target where he got picked off kind of. So I think it was a good play. I think Cobb was a good play this week, just didn't work out for me. And then what I did was I locked in my defense last. So that was my plan, was just to lock in my defense last with whatever I had remaining. I had some defenses ranked all the way down to 2,000 with the Raiders, but I had about, I think, $2,700 or $2,800 left over. So I went with the Steelers. They only put up 6 points for me, but it was a late interception that actually got me into the top 30. I kind of fell out of the top 30 for a second, and then Steelers interception got me back up into 28. So overall, very, very proud of the 28th place finish. Would have hoped for top 10 like everyone else, but my goal was top 30, and I hit that. Unfortunately, Allen with the fumble, Cobb with just the 10 points, and I didn't have the best defense output with 6 points, but either way, it is what it is. 28th place, $50,000. Can't be upset with that. Now let's just take a quick look at what won the tournament. So you can see here 219 points. That was quite a bit higher than the next person. Condia had, I think it was 6 lineups, and I finished higher than all of his lineups except for this one. So if I had 6 lineups, I feel I could have had a really good lineup too, but this one was a pretty elite lineup at 219. I'm not sure I would have gotten there. He had Tyrod Taylor, Freeman, West, 2 good running back picks. Antonio Brown Only 8% owned. He wasn't in a great matchup, and he just dominated, 49.9 points. Being a Steelers fan, I wish I had him, but I just didn't like the matchup. He had Landry. Watkins went off for a big game with a garbage time touchdown. Julius Thomas, pretty good pick at 13.9 for the price. And then Woodhead really separated him too with 36 points. He had 3 touchdowns. That was just crazy. Wasn't expecting that from Woodhead. Given his price, I didn't really like him. You can see he's only 1% owned, so a lot of people didn't really have them on their radar, just 2 people in the contest. And then he went cheap with the Colts D, who put up 8 points. So that was a good pick. So great lineup there by him. And all these guys in the top 10 had really good lineups. So congrats to those guys. Looking forward to watching you guys in the Fantasy Football World Championship. And I hope to be back there next year. It was a ton of fun. DraftKings is amazing. They treat you like gold. It was a lot of fun. Met a lot of great people. Had a fun time doing the excursions, all that kind of stuff. The whole weekend was just great. And thanks to DraftKings for putting that on. And I hope to be back there next year. Cheers, guys.